Okay, sorry for the abrupt ending there. My camera ran out of disk space. So I did the payouts for Plum. And so we're done there. Anyways, I'm still in a rush here. Let's get this done. Chin is next. Okay, so Chin. Chin. What do you got? Chin has a 6 + 6 and a 7. That's right. Chin has that weirdness, and I've spent all this time talking about it. Okay, so Chin is for sure going to do the OE run. It has to bypass Berlin. Yes, I'm back to my other device again, so I couldn't clear up any space on my camera until I upload the YouTube videos. So 6 + 6 and a 7 + 7. So we're going to do 100 plus 100 for, that's Constantinople. Then 80 for Warsaw. Then we have to bypass Berlin. And then we're going to do 80 for Hamburg. And then 80 for Belgium. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 80 for Lille for 5. And then we can do London for 6. So that's a 6 + 6. So now we got the 7 + 7 we got to do. And we can get New York for 1. And then we can do, that's Portugal 2, Madrid 3, and then the Y City for 4. And then we said we could loop back and hit Could we land into France? No. Yes. Or we could even land in Italy. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to just land. We're going to land in Naples for 5. And then get 2 of the Y cities in Italy for 6 and 7. And then 7 times 20 plus 6 times 20, because all those whistle stops get added. And then he also has a Pullman. I think he does. Hold on. Who is this again? Chin. He does not have a Pullman. So 158 is not bad. So 316 a share. And this is for Chin. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 7. That's De Gaulle. And then 316 is for Medici, who seems to always have his hand in everything. And that was his goal. And then this is Lord Wellington. So let's get him paid. I'm going to move this up so you can see. And 2,212. And that's for De Gaulle. So then Medici is getting 316. And then 632 for Wellington, which is a boost Wellington really needed. And so that's enough to put Wellington into the 5,000 club. So he is, cash-wise, catching back up. Okay, so that's it for Chin. So I'm just looking over real quick on who's next. It's SFR. That's Italy time. We did spend track points to help Italy. And one of the things that he absolutely has to do is this for 1, and then he's going to have 8 more points So we would just do, it pays to go to brown or gray. So 2, 4, those two would be gray. These two up here are going to be gray. So that's going to be 4 of his track points. And then he can go to green for 2, brown for 4. So so what he's going to do is upgrade that double whistle stop to brown. Okay, I'm not going to go get the titles. I just want to get this game over with. So we're just going to buzz. So SFR is an 11 plus 11. Okay, so this little city here is an 80. So that's 1. This is 2 for 60. 3 for 80. 4 for 100. 5 for 80. 6 for 80. 7 for 60. Remember, I just didn't get the tile. 8 for 60. Okay, that's 8. Okay, so 9 for 60. That's 9. And then 10 and 11 is going to be these two for 20. Plus 40. All right, so that puts us in 700. These are going to be $20 whistle stops. Sorry, you can't see them. Those are going to be $20 whistle stops. I just didn't go get the tile. So that's 40 for 2. And then we have way up there 1, 2, 3, 4 more 4 more whistle stops. So 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 80. So that was 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 of the whistle stops. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 for 40. And I'm looking over, there's 10 total towns. So so that means we get to add $20 for the one extra town. So that's 4, that's 2, 4 is 6, 4 is 10, yep, and plus 20 more for 11. So 180 plus the 700 plus $40 for the Pullman. I have 92 a share. So that's not too bad for SFR. And so it's 184 a share when you do the doubler. So I'm looking at SFR now. So that's Medici's number. And then that's Trump's number. Okay, so 1104 for Medici, 1,105, and then Trump gets 736, 5, 6, 7, 25, 35, 36. Okay, so Trump, this is $2,000. And this is 4,000 for Medici, and 5,000 for Medici, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And ta-da! 10,000 bling. Medici's doing very well in this game. Okay, so that's SFR. Now it's us, SB. We get to go. We do not have enough track points for everything we want to do in life, but we do want to get to gray. So I think it's 6 points to get to gray. So 2 for green, 2 for brown, 2 for gray. So 6 points there, and then 2 points there. So these two would both be gray. Okay. I'm just going to turn them over to show that they're gray, okay? Everything else, I'm going to have to leave B. So, with SB, we have 12 plus 12. So, so 12 plus 12. So first thing we got to do is the cities. So 100 for Vienna, 80 and 80 for the two Y cities, that's 3. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 times 20. Okay, so that's 7. And then I have 2 of them at 60. That's 8. And that's 9. And I'm looking over at my thing. There are 9 total cities. So since I have a 12 plus 12, I guess I get to add 60 plus 60 plus 60 for bonuses. Anything that was over what I have in the country. So there's that. Now I got to do whistle stops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them are times 20. Okay, and then I got to add 6 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. I do have them, but it's going to be just times 10. So that's 82. And then I'm going to add a $40 Pullman for 86. It's a mediocre result, but we knew we're going to run out of time and couldn't upgrade everything. Had we upgraded everything, this would have been a lot higher number. We would have gotten over 1,000 if we would have gotten those towns up to gray. But it's just how it works. So 86 times 2 is 172. And we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So times 8, we're getting that much. See, that's a really low number. We should be getting over 2,000. So, and then we paid double for some of these shares. So, and then Trump and Wellington are each going to get 172. So it was probably not the best move. So 150, 70, 2 for Wellington, 150, 70, 2 for Trump. Okay, so oh, and then we got to pay ourselves. So we get 1376. So let's not forget that. Even if it's a meager amount, we're still going to pay it. So here's 13, 50, 75, 76. So you look at it, Medici has a 10 bling, and we're just handing in to get a 5 bling. So think of it that how far we're losing this game. I mean, Medici just handed in a 10 bling. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 10. But we're very, very far behind. I mean, we're $4,000 behind right now. I mean, I know this counts for something, but it's not enough. We do have DSJ, which I think is going to bail us out a little bit. But man, oh man. Okay, next is DSJ. So that's good news. So we're going to do... DSJ has a whole bunch of companies, or players who own it. But DSJ has a 5+5, a 5D, and a Pullman. And it's not going to make as much as BHB, but we should be able to do pretty decent. So Levant plus 300 for Constantinople plus 200 for Austria. I'm sorry, I was drawing a blank. Austria plus 160 for a Y city plus 240 for Berlin. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's got a 5D there for 1140. So now DSJ has to do a 5+5. And This is actually going to be a little on the tricky side, but he can pay to put a token somewhere. So that's not an issue. So basically, he's going to add Berlin to it for 1. And then he's going to go to Hamburg for 2. And then he's going to go to Belgium, Lille, and London. I think that's the best he can do. He could do Copenhagen, but that's no different than Belgium. And Norway is great, but that's no different than London. So I think this works out. And then he's going to get 5 times 20 for 172. And he has a Pullman for 80 more. So 180 a share is respectable. Times 2, 360. And then we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shares for 2160. And then there's 2 shares for somebody. I'll figure it out in a second. And everybody else has 1 share. So let's do us first. We get 2160. That helps a ton because we got to close that gap on Medici, but we're still behind. I don't think we're going to catch him. I think Medici's winning this. So then we come back over to here. And 720 goes to De Gaulle. And then here's what's crazy. 360 goes to Medici. So he bought a share. So he's getting richer. So he gets 360. And then 360 is also going to Wellington. 350, 60. And then there you go, another 500. As if he didn't need it. Okay, so that's done, and now we go to MKV. MKV, I'm going to look over to see what he has. He has a 6+6 and a 5D. So I'm not going to worry about track. Let's just get him added and double him. MKV can do Levant. So he's going to do 120 times 2 plus 300. That's for, you know what that's for. That's for Constantinople. And then he's going to go up. He has a 5D, so that was 2. And then he's going to add another 200, 3, 4, and 5. Because he made it all the way up to Sweden. So it's an amazing run. But now he's got to figure out a 6+6 when he's already used up most of his good spots. He has a starting city that's 80, And so he can go from there and get out, so he's not overriding the area. So he's going to go there, and then he's going to hit Warsaw for 2, and then he can hit Hamburg for 3, and then he can hit Belgium for 4, and then Lille for 5, and then London for 6. And then, of course, 6 times 20 along the way. And then he has a Pullman, which he can add 80. So 186 a share. It's pretty darn good. So 186 times 2 is 372 a share. So he has 6 shares, and we actually have 4. So 372 times 4, we made a good makeup there. So let's do him first. He gets 2,232. Okay, so he has 1, 2. So there's 4,000, and here's the 5,000. So he made it into the 5,000 bling club. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, along with this 500 here. Get one of those thousands back. I mean, so Tchaikovsky's actually, well, most of his companies haven't run yet, so he's going to start making ground now. But we get 1488, and what I'm closely watching is I need to catch Medici. So there's 1,000, 1,400, and 50, 75, 85, 90. And then I'm going to pay $2 back. So that's good. We're up to 9, although he's at 10, but that's still good to be up to 9. I feel good about that. De Gaulle, by the way, is at 8. Trump is at 7, and Wellington is at 6, but some of these guys have a lot of change to give. Okay, so we're done with MKB, and now we go to GSWR. And I'm going to look, GSWR is just an 11 plus 11, and once again, we're not going to worry about track. We know we have track points. I'm just going to upgrade if I have to, but first of all, we're going to get 120, 100 for 2, 80 for 3, 80 for 4, and then 60 for 5, and he needs to get to what? 11. 60 for 6, 60 for 7, 60 for 8. That's 4 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. So then we're going to do 60 for 9. Plus 60 for 10. And then we have to do the red zone, which I need to go look at what that is. That's 50 for 11. So that's everything. Yep, and that's exactly what the charter says. So we're at that. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 whistle stops at 20. So now I got to sit down and think, how many track points would I have left? I could upgrade 3 more. So at 60. So then we're going to say that the last one wasn't upgraded. So we're going to add 10. Boy, I'm really tired. Okay, that puts him at an even 1,000. And then he's going to add his Pullman, which is 40. So 104 times 2 is 208. And then we multiply that by 10. And he gets it all. He owns all 10 shares. So $2,080. Was that worth him spending an extra, whatever on all those shares? I don't know, but I mean, He's up to 8,000 bling, and it's not enough. But hey, like I said, he got 2,080, and he did make his stock go up too. So next up is Lizard, which is another government, and it's a 5/9. That's a 12 plus 12. So we're just going to get ripping. 1, we're talking red zones first. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the Y cities, 6, 7, and then St. Petersburg for 8, and then 9, 10, 11. 12. Whoops. 12. Okay, and then just 12 times 20. And then we're going to add 50 for the Pullman. So 119 times 2 is 238. And Lizard is only owned by one person. So 1428 goes to Tchaikovsky. 1,000. 400, 25, 28. I'm gonna pay $2. Get another 5. Okay, so that's done, and now WW is up. So more stuff for him. Does anybody own WW beside? Yes, Trump has 1 share of WW. So I'm looking at WW, and it's a 6 plus 6 and a 4D. $300 plus 200 plus 200 plus 200. That's the 4D. And then we're going to have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Plus 6 times 20. And then a Pullman for 70. So 161 a share. And that's times 6 shares. 1932. So can I just give him 2,000? Let's make it so you can see. So I gave him 2,000, so 1932. This would be 1935, 45, 50, and then 2 of these would be done. Okay, so that's 4,000 right there, and he's doing great cash-wise. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. And he earned himself a 10 blinger. Okay, he's done MSP. Last one is the government. And it's 16 plus 16. I wish I wrote down what he got last time. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Plus 16 times 20, plus the Pullman, which is 60. 152 a share, times 2 is 304. That's a good bling. Times 6 is 1824. And does anybody else own MSP? I don't think they do. No. So 1824 just for him. So 1,000. $500, 6, 7, 800, and 25. Pay 1. Okay, so where am I at here? MSP is done. The last one is MZA, and MZA, Trump only has 2 shares of MZA. Oh gosh, I don't even want to do it. He's the only one that has MZA, and MZA is a 9+9, so let's just crank it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus 9 times 20, plus $30 whistle stop, so 93 times 2, so 186 times 2, Trump gets $372. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to move some of my chips out of the way, and we're going to make room so we can do a bit of a grand finale here. So just moving some stuff, and then we can put this down. Hopefully this will be secure. I have it on something, so what if I lifted this up more? There. Does that? No, it gets a little too, I need it to be more up like that. Too bad I can't get it to stay up more. All right, so we'll do that. And I need to get some paper because I'm very tired. I'm not going to remember. 1 second. Okay. So first things first, let's do, who do we think's losing? Let's do Wellington. Nope, we'll go in turn order. We're going to do Medici first. So maybe I'll just put this here. So you can see I wrote down Medici. Ignore all this other stuff. So Medici is first. And let's do his stocks. And we'll go from there. So okay, so he has 4 times lawnmower, which is $490, plus 7 times SFAI, which is $440, plus 4 times GWR, which is also $490, plus 6 times SFR, which is $310. His stocks are so strong. And then also looking around, he has 1 DSJ, which is $280, and he has 1 BHB, which is $440, and he has 1 Bell, which is also $440. And I'm looking around, does he have anything else? The answer is no. Okay. So for stocks, he has $10,020. Okay, that seems low. but maybe it's not. Well, he doesn't have president shares like everybody else does because he owned two companies. So maybe that is the trick. But the thing is, and then we're going to write down cash and then total. So it'll look like that. And you should be able to see all that. Okay, so 10,020 is a respectable number. I was expecting maybe a little higher. I'm just looking around to see if I'm missing anything. Oh, I'm missing a chin. He has one share of chin. So chin would be another 390. So plus 390. So it's 10,410, like that. Okay. So that's Medici's stock. All right, so now let's do his cash. So I'm going to start with his low numbers, and I'm just consolidating his low numbers into higher numbers, right? So I can just have less to count. Okay, so that's 11,175, 85, 87. So 11,187 was his cash, plus 11,187, and so his total is 21,597. Now, if you remember from the last time we played, we were at the 30,000 range, the winners were. So it is a 6-player game, so the scores are going to be lower. I forgot about that. That's probably why I'm thinking everything seems low. With a 6-player game, there's just going to be a lower score. So yes, we were over 30,000 in a 5-player game. Also, if you recall, a whole buttload of our stocks made it to the top value, and none of our stocks made it to the top value in this game. So that's two of the factors. I think that's going to be a really hard score to beat personally, but we're going to keep going here. So let's figure out the next one. Next one is Troikovsky. So we'll just call him Troika. Okay, so let's do his shares, and I have to step up for this, so I apologize, and I'm just trying to get it done quick. All right, so he's going to do 6 times MKV. Yeah, that's why I have to step up. I can't read the board. So 6 times 250 for MKV. And then for WW is 6 times 225. Plus Blizzard is 6 times 225. Plus MSP, which is 6 times 200. Okay. And then he's going to add his other shares, which is 3 RCP. So 3 times 490. And then he's going to add a plum, which is 390. And then he's going to add, that's it. So 23, 4. Yep, that's it. All right, so 7,260, a lot lower number. And now we're going to do his cash. So we already know he has more cash, which he better, because everything else is a lot lower. Okay, just doing some consolidating again. Okay, he has 11,000, 12,280. So for a grand total of 19,540. So not enough. So Russia's strategy with him was quite effective for somebody who only had $60 companies. I think he might have benefited from having one less company in Russia and just focused on three, and then just made them worth more. Because I think that's what hurt him. I mean, you can see his stock value was poor. He was 3,000 behind almost, and he just maybe had less companies and then made them worth more. It's okay to have one company that's that low, but he had all four of his companies that low. So that was his Achilles heel. He needed a really big number here, which he was on the verge of doing. And I'm actually a little shocked because remember the last stock round, he was an auto pass the entire stock round. So he already had all of his certs, and the rest of us were spending money and he wasn't. So you would think that he was just that much further ahead of us, but we caught him largely in stock value. So the stock, never underestimate the value of those higher level stocks, which is why Trump and Medici were buying the higher level ones, even if they paid out less in cash. Okay, so let's move on. Wellington is next. Okay, I got to stand up again. So he's what? He's the light blue. So he is 6 lawnmower times 490. And 6 GWR times 490. And 10 GSWR times 250. And SB for 280. A DSJ for 280. And 2 chin for 390. Is that everything? Yep. Okay. 97.20. So we were expecting Medici to have a high stock value because remember, he only bought 2 companies of his own and he bought into everybody else's company. This is a little surprising because he was going after premium, but I think some of his issue is that he went after GSWR. His cash is not enough, and so we already know he lost. But let's go ahead and give it a try. So that's only 8,000. So let me consolidate. $8,512. So my break where I stopped and thought and said, well, okay, let's just buy all the GSWR for double the price. he bought what? 4 shares. And they were at 180. So what's 180 times 4? So he spent 720 bucks more than the shares were worth at the time. And if you would add that to the 85.12, he would have been at 92.32 in cash. So he would have been better. I don't think his stock value would have been much better because he was faced with buying GSWR or something else that was only like $25 more than GSWR. So that's just unfortunate. I just think he had a bad game. Remember, he started off very slow. He almost had companies taken away from him. And Medici actually had an opportunity to take a company away from him, but didn't. So anyways, let's finish this out. 85.12 plus 97.20 is 18,232. I think we just knew he was in trouble since the beginning, and he tried too much premium, and maybe the premium is, the more players you have, it's harder to go premium, like he just did, or tried to do. Okay, next is De Gaulle, who I think is going to have an amazing game. I think he beat all 3 of them personally, but let's find out. Okay, so I got to do his shares first, so I got to stand up for that. De Gaulle's the white chips, so he has 3 SFAI, and that's times 440. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 times 390 plus 6 times 390, 2 times 490, I just realized we need to add another 390 to his share value. I found another one of his. So we'll take care of that in a second. This seems awful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times Bell, which is 440. Okay, much better, much better. Okay, so he is at 11,010. Okay, and then 97.20 plus 390. So he is at 10,110. Wellington was. $18,622. Okay. All right, so De Gaulle has a really good stock value. Not surprised there. His Bell, Plum, and Chin were all very high. It wasn't the highest in the game, but he had all of his 3 of his primary companies near the top. So let's look at his money situation. So we're looking at 8,000 there. 9,000. So he does have some ground to make up, but he has a lot of cash I haven't dealt with here. So give me a second while I do that. 10,871. $21,881. So he just overtook the lead by less than $300. That is a close game between those two. Now remember our first game, all of the players were super close. That's not the case here. 18,000 and 19,000 were close between them, but these two were close. And they played a completely different game. So this is what I love about 18OE. I know some 18XX players love other 18XX games, and that's fine, because they all have wonderful values to them. But what I love about this one is look at how two different strategies and two different playthroughs I've done for you now. The different strategies come out close, very close. And you just don't get that in some of the other games. Usually you get two people like this, and then there's 30 other people that are like 10,000 lower or whatever. But anyways, I digress. There was some big differences here of $3,000 for these players, but let's keep going. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Trump, our newcomer. Let's see how he did. Okay, he is the gold stock. Okay, so he has 1 WW share. $225. An MZA share worth $135. Actually, another $135. 6 RCP times 490. 7 MIDI times 490. 2 Bell times 440. 2 Plum times 390. And SB worth 280. Two BHB worth 440. Oh, and 4 SFR 310. I looked at his number and I was like, wow, he's really low. But I forgot the SFR. Okay. So 10,925. That's a very good showing for Trump. He needs some serious help in the cash department, though. He's going to get it, because I didn't do much change for him. 8,862. So he was almost as low as Wellington. But if you remember at the final stock round, he and Wellington were buying all those shares, right? So that's what I was telling you is a sign to let you know that that person's not necessarily winning the game. Because when you're short on certs and you don't have your cert limit, that's a sign. I mean, everybody else is holding onto their cash while you're still spending it. So that definitely happened there. And so that's going to cost him the game. Otherwise, Trump played a well of a game. 19,787. And the New York strategy actually wasn't very bad. Not at all. But anyways. 19,787. He just barely eked by Troika. And of course he beat Wellington. That's a respectable score. He's at least within 2,000. And then let's do us. So let's see how we did. I honestly don't think we're going to win. I think we're going to be low on the stock, and we're actually low in the cash too. So I do think we're going to get probably third place, but let's find out. So I'm standing up to do this. So we got one RCP, 490. We have one MIDI for 490. We have 8 for 280. 7 times 440. 6 times 280. And that's what's going to kill us. And then we have 4 times 250. Yeah, we're low. We're going to be low. I'm looking to make sure I don't have anything else, and I don't think I do. Oh, oh, oh. 89.80 for the stock. That's second to last. And our cash is just not going to catch that. I mean, we're only at 9. We need this to get to 13. $10,200 $10,301. $19,281. We were second to last. The only person we beat was Wellington. Ugh. I can definitively tell you that SB lost this for us. BHB did okay. DSJ started off way too slow. SB, it was fantastic. We got that $800 and we didn't go national with it right away, and we should have. I don't know what the right thing to do there was. it was just bad timing. We needed to do that OE run, hit the ceiling or hit the floor, sell the shares, and then buy some. I mean, we just needed something else. Very bad game for us. So even when I'm trying to win and I make up the AI, I end up losing. I think we won the last playthrough where I was teaching everybody. I think I won that one. This one, however, not so much. And I think we knew. I mean, when we're at the end of the game and I didn't even have all my track upgraded that I needed just so I could maximize my earnings. Austria-Hungary, when I was doing the tutorial, I told you it's an awful place to be. I also told you that Prussia was an awful place to be. And I played this entire game in Austria-Hungary and Berlin and Prussia. I honestly don't know. I just don't know. There's a few things going through my mind that I could have done differently, but I think this was just a bad draw. BHB was a good choice, and I hope you recognize that BHB did well for us. DSJ ended up doing well for us, but stock-wise, it was not very good. So those two $65 companies hurt me. This game was about premium stock, and I mean, look at that. That number right there is why I lost. If this number was at 10,000, just like these numbers were, right? If this was just up to 10,000, I would have had 20,301, and at 20,301, I still would have been third place, but I would have at least passed up the other guys. So that's what killed me. My SB stock was not worth much. My DSJ stock was worth the same. So between SB and DSJ, it just wasn't worth as much. And that's the end of the story. It would have been nice to get more cash, and this problem would have been solved if SB would have had a better... It's your national. Your national is what gets you your cash. So at the very end of the game, BHB was giving me cash and DSJ was giving me cash, which is what it's supposed to do. But take note that that's at the end of the game is when they give you cash, and they did. But in the mid-game, you get your cash from your nationals, and I didn't have one. And you can see how that played out. Although my cash wasn't bad. I mean, you can see my cash was at least respectable, but it wasn't 12,000 like these two. This guy had massive cash, and still he beat me, but only by $200. So there you have it, folks. Another solitaire playthrough of insanity. And all two of you who actually watched this to the end, I thank you. I'll be honest, I don't think there's more than two of you that have ever even cared that I did an 18xx playthrough. And then I go and do another one. But I really do enjoy this. I don't enjoy cramming this into 2 days like I just did. I'm extremely exhausted. So I am going to thank you all and say stay awesome and cut this out. And I was asked by somebody if I could live stream my game tomorrow with my friends. I can't promise a live stream, but I do promise I'm going to record some of it. And I'll upload that so you guys can see. And I'm pretty sure it's just a 3-player game unless somebody's surprised. We invite 8 players every time. There's always 1 or 2 that don't come. And we usually end up with 5 or 6 player games. So the fact that we're down to 3, that's very low. And we even contemplated canceling. But I'm excited about a 3-player game because you get to control more companies. And to be quite honest, this game can be really boring when you're waiting for somebody else to take their turn. The fact that I'm soloing this is fun because I'm taking everybody's turn. But you get out your iPad and you find your favorite app and you're playing your app while you're waiting for somebody else to finish their turn. Especially if it's like this game where all 4 Russia companies were all stringed together and it's all owned by the same player. And that's why we always call that, the Russia hour or whatever. It'll be a whole solid hour before the next player gets to take their turn. And so, yeah, anyways, that's it. Thank you so much and stay awesome.